I have been on the hunt for the best books to help for the last 10 years, I have been trying to figure out the best ways to develop number sense in young students, and I'm going to share with you today some books that are amazing for this purpose. I'm going to share with you today some books that have been great for this. The first one, this is an old, I think they have an updated version of this, but this is Teaching Student-Centered Mathematics, Developmentally Appropriate Instruction for Grades Pre-K to 2 by John Vanderwell's the lead author, and then his other authors. Now this book is amazing. It has it has activity ideas, it gives you background on progressions, learning progressions in terms of, number sense, place value, number ID, things of that nature. It talks about problem solving. It talks a little bit about, it makes connections to the Common Core standards. This, if you were just gonna get one book, I would recommend this one. It has everything you need to get you started and really understanding math at a deep level and how to teach math for your student success. This book also has a special place in my heart because when I first started teaching, I knew that I wanted to really dig deep into developing number sense in students because I was only teaching math and science to my kindergartners, and the person who helped me the most was our math instructional, our math resource teacher, was our math research teacher, Bobby, and when she retired, she gave this book to me. So this is where she started me, and this is where, if you're gonna pick one, I would choose this one. This is where you should start. They also have a version for 3rd to 5th grade. I haven't dug into this one as much. I'm doing that now, but this one, amazing. This one looks like it's gonna be great too. The next ones are part of a series, part of the Math Recovery series. The purple book, if you've taken AVMR, Advantage Math Recovery, they talk a lot about the purple book, and the purple book is really good. It does have a lot of information in it, but I have found that the green book gives lots of ideas of activities that you can do to help students in their different stages of counting and number sense, along with this one, but this one I think is more helpful. I will say about these books though, if you haven't taken the Math Recovery class, it can be a little bit tricky to understand those books in the way that they're set up. The way that they're set up is they talk about kind of an assessment that you would give your students one-on-one to see if they can do whatever skill. And if they can do that skill, then you would move them to the next question, the next level of difficulty. And if they're struggling with that skill, then they give you a bunch of ideas of things that you can do to help them. But like I said, if you didn't know the way that it was set up, it can be a little bit tricky to get what you need from it. So those would not be ones that I would start with, but they do have a lot of great information about learning progressions and ideas and how to help for each learning progression. I use those books a lot in my recent talk about the stages of counting. And if you'd like, I have my entire slides, my entire presentation slides linked down below that you can get for free. And the last book I'm going to talk about today is Culturally Responsive Teaching and the Brain. Now, this is not specifically a math book, but This is Culturally Responsive Teaching in the Brain by Zaretta Hammock. Now, this is not this is culturally responsive teaching in the brain. Now, this is not necessarily a math book, but it has a lot of really great information about making your instruction culturally responsive and ideas on it talks about the way that you actually learn, like the way that your brain is wired to learn. And with that knowledge, you can create activities and learning experiences to tap into all of the parts of the brain that we want when students are learning. So this one is a little science heavy. It talks about the way that the brain works and dendrites and neurons, but it does give practical information. And so this one is a great one. P.S. I actually have read all of these books. You can see all of my notes. I don't know, are you a note taker or are you a note taker? Post-its? How do you like to read books? Are you a note taker? Post-its? Highlight? A little bit of everything? Like, I deface books, so I will never sell this one because it's a mess and nobody else would be able to decipher all of my notes in the margins. I want to share with you today some books that have been so helpful in deepening my knowledge of math and how kids learn math. And I hope that they can do the same for you. Now, first off, you will notice in all of my books here that I am definitely a note taker. I have all my Post-its in here. I've highlighted in here, I've written in here. So these would not be good candidates to sell back because, like, you know, at the end of college, you have to sell back all the books that you're not using. These would not be good candidates because I've defaced them, but that's how much I use them. They are really, really good. So I hope I've given you some ideas of some books that you can look into if you're really wanting to deepen your own math knowledge and math understanding. And I will let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to grab the presentation for my counting stages. Don't forget to grab my counting stages presentation in the description. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I will see you next time.